Hey, what's up guys? It's Rowel Timbal and I'm back again with another video. I know a lot of you guys are still stuck at home and maybe you're stuck with light weights but you want to have a good shoulder workout. Don't worry, I got you. In this video, I'm going to show you ways and tips on how to have a really good shoulder workout using light dumbbells. It doesn't even have to be dumbbells. If you have water bottles, you can also use that. By the way, if you're new here, please click subscribe button. I upload workout videos and tips every week. Now we got that out of the way, let's head for the intro. My first tip is to do an isolation workout first before doing your compound movements. In this case, it will be the shoulder press. In a conventional gym, normally we do our shoulder presses first or compound movement first because those are the heavier sets and we want to come in fresh to do progressive overload using those exercises. The problem is that we're here at home, we're stuck with 10 pounds, 15 pounds, even 8-pound dumbbells. So doing your shoulder presses first doesn't really make that much sense because you're not going to be able to increase the weight anyway. So what I suggest is to do your isolation workout first, your lateral raises, your front raise, and your bend over shoulder raises before you do your shoulder presses, so that your muscles, in this case your shoulders, is pre-fatigued. So when it's time to do your shoulder presses, it's gonna be a harder workout, even though the dumbbells are quite light. So I would suggest do the isolation workout first, and even at the end, you can kind of do it like a superset. For example, I got 10 pounds dumbbells here. So you're gonna do your shoulder raises first, and then you're gonna do your bend over, and then by the third exercise, you're gonna do your front raise, do it to failure, and then without any rest, move it, and do your standing shoulder press. That way, your standing shoulder press would be, again, a lot harder because your muscles are already pre-fatigued. That way you're going to have a more meaningful compound movement rather than doing your shoulder presses first. Okay, we're done with the first tip. We're going to move on to our second tip. My second tip would be do partial movements or do partial reps. You can do it two ways. You can do it from the top, halfway, or you can do it from the bottom, halfway. So the way I do it is that I introduce 4 partials plus 1 full rep at the end of the rep, if that makes sense. Like for example, let me just give you an example to make it easier. 10 pounds. I can do 15 shoulder raises at max, but around the 13th rep, I want to introduce my partial movements. So if I can only do 15, by the 13th rep, I'm going to start doing 4 partials and 1 full rep. So 11, 12, 13, now I'm going to do my partials. 4, 3, 2, 1, and 1 full rep. There you go. So it's a good way to increase the volume, and it's kind of a good way to go past your failure. Because instead of just doing last 2 reps, technically you're still doing 5 reps, even though the last 4 reps is partials. It's a good way to increase the intensity. It's a good way to get some pump, and yeah, it's a good way to utilize even light weights to have a really good shoulder workout. Okay, so let's move on to tip number 3. My third tip would be to do static holds. So how do you do static hold? Let me give you an example. So basically on static hold, you want to hold one side or one part of the movement while you're doing the other side, with your regular exercise. In this case, shoulder raise, one of my favorites. So basically I'm going to hold one side and then I'm going to do the other side as normally as I would. And then when this side is tired, I'm gonna hold it, and then I'm gonna do the other one. So basically, static hold, I'm telling you, it can be pretty challenging, especially at the later part of the set. And it's a great way to increase the volume and intensity of the shoulder workout, even though you're doing it with lightweight. So we are done with that. We're moving on to tip number 4. Moving on to tip number 4. Tip number 4 is to do drop set. So if you got 2 pairs of dumbbells, drop sets are fairly straightforward. So basically you start off with your heavier dumbbells, and then you do your exercise, in this case shoulder raises, as much as you can. If you can't do, and when you can't do that anymore, you immediately switch to the lighter one and try to do more reps in. But let me ask, yo Wells, I only have 1 pair of dumbbells. Does that mean that I can't do drop sets? Absolutely not. So basically you can change the difficulty of your shoulder isolation workouts just by changing the angle of your forearms in relative to your elbow. So basically this angle right here, which is I think 90 degrees, is a lot easier than if I do it like around almost 180 degrees. This one is a lot harder. So you can utilize that to do your drop set. For example, I'm gonna do it with a almost straight arm shoulder raises first. I'm gonna do that until I can't do it anymore. And then I'm gonna switch to like a 90-degree angle and put more reps in. That way, even if you only have 1 pair of light dumbbells, you can still do a drop set. And I'm telling you, drop set is one of my favorite techniques to use because it just induces a lot of burns, and it just allows me to do more volume in my workout. And that would be like my bonus tip, is to just increase the volume, man. If you lack equipment, if you lack weights and all that, doing progressive overload is almost impossible. But you can still increase the volume. It's always something you can control of, as long as you got the time to increase more, dedicate more time to your workout session. You can always increase the set, the reps, or the total volume by increasing more exercises in your workout sessions. Okay, to wrap it all up, first tip is to do your isolation workout first before you do your shoulder presses. Second is to do partials. Third is to do your static hold, and fourth and bonus tip is to do your drop sets and increase your volume. I hope you find those tips useful and actually implement it to your shoulder workouts. Again, this is Rowel Timbal. Please click the subscribe button. Stay healthy, stay fit. Peace.